Well, good evening, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I've been wanting to do this vlog for a while, and look, there's like a big barge going through here. I don't think I've ever seen a barge go through here. This is under Okaloosa Island Brooks Bridge, and they're digging up the sewer on the other side, or where it was flooded over there. I don't know what they're doing exactly, but anyway. I used to see the barges in Mississippi up the Mississippi River all the time, so it's odd to see one now. But let's talk about you ever heard the song "Don't Ever Change to Try to Please Me? I love you just the way you are." That's really true. Be careful with whoever your partner is, whether you're girl, guy, or in between, and really think about it carefully. When I was with Ronald Fournier way back, he loved me just the way I was, pretty much, but then they try to play power plays, I guess because they're so insecure. They're afraid they'll lose you just once if you're out of their sight. We had this big white Lincoln Continental. We used to sell back and forth to each other. He originally bought it at first. I went with him to go get it. And we bought it at Lynch Lincoln Mercury in Santa Monica. And he dressed it up nice. He put big deep dish 5-piece spokes on it and Michelin XCX tires. And I cleaned it all up, and he did a little bit of work on it, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful car. And so we would sell it back and forth. He would go get a truck for work because he was in construction, and he never drove the car. I drove the car, and I'd say, well, I'll buy it, and he'd sell it to me, and then I'd get sick of it, and I'd sell it back to him, and I think we sold that car back to each other about 5 times each. And then I ended up with the end, and he come and stole it. He borrowed it and never returned it, okay? And then brought me several cars years later that I didn't even like. I guess because he felt guilty. And we had a big promise that we were going to get married in 1999. And he was going to go back to Massachusetts and take the boys back and go there for a little while to get them out of California, because he thought California was ruining him, which pretty much was true. Very fast lane for children. Bad things happen. And anyway, I remember one day when we lived at the Kelso house out in Inglewood, a big house that we had rented. Or actually he had rented, and I ended up moving in with him, I guess. I think I was living with him then. A lot of the time I had my own place, but then I was never there. I was always with him and the boys, and so it was kind of interesting. But anyway, he used to have a habit. His biggest problem was drinking. That really ruined us. I drank back then, partied when party was available. When you're not working, have nothing else better to do, no responsibility, time off, whatever. But I was not like an everyday drinker, like get up 6 in the morning, take a bath, and be drinking a beer while taking a bath, and then go to work. And then as soon as you go to lunch, you have a beer, and then when you go to after work, you have some more beers with the guys, and then you get home whenever. And then Friday or Saturday night you just disappear, and you have to drive to like 5 bars to find him. And he didn't look like he was fooling around with anybody or anything. Never caught him really with anybody, but it was just like he was an alcoholic. I mean, it's so hard to fix alcoholics. I've done it a couple times trying to save people's life, and it doesn't work. They have to do it themselves. But anyway, one day, beautiful, beautiful day, and my buddy I worked with, Big D, Diana Nelson, called me up and she said, hey, let's go down to Redondo or Manhattan Beach, Dodo Beach, and let's, I'm gonna take Reno, my dog, and we're gonna walk down the boardwalk, you know. And I was like, man, that sounds really fun. I said, I love those two places. She says, well, you want to go? And I'm like, yeah. She says, well, meet me at my house. Okay. I go to take the car, and I'm getting ready to walk out the door, and Ron says, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm going to meet Big D. I'm going over to her house. And he said, oh, no, you're not. And I said, why not? He said, well, don't let the door hit you in the ass, swing both ways. He said, and don't take the Lincoln. I was like, because my car was in the backyard. I was putting a new clutch in it, and it was sitting up on blocks. So, and it was like, what? And he's sitting there like half jacked on the couch, drunk. I think it was like a Sunday or something. So anyway, I was like, never again will a man tell me what to do. I will make sure to have my own car in my own name. Never again. I will not ever have that said to me again. So anyway, as time goes by, I was with a guy named Silvio, and actually was kind of very interesting, dark individual, you know, kind of like mafia looking. Had the fedora, Cuban, a lot of 18 karat heavy duty gold. Didn't speak too much English, but I spoke Spanish. And at one point I couldn't speak English hardly at all anymore because I never did. I would speak more Spanish than anything. You know, they say if you don't use it, you lose it. He would be a little drunk or whatever sometimes. And I had a newborn baby. And this is one of the things that really helped me to leave California. And he had come sneaking in and at my place that I had. And, you know, I gave him keys to everything and all that. And I had my little convertible Fiat back then, and which I loved, my little car Samantha. And I had a baby that cried all the time. Like, I think today she still cries. She cried all the time. Just cried. She was a colic baby. And it's just the hardest thing in the world when you're trying to figure out why they're crying, if they're not making their poopers, or if their panties are wet, or they're hungry, and you just go around circles like crazy because you feel terrible because they're crying, and you hold them, and the best thing you can do is stick them in the car and drive on those Michelins, because that will quiet them down and let them rest. Because it's really nerve-wracking. It wrenches your guts out when your baby's crying. And, you know, I don't want anybody to be sad, you know, or hurt. So, you know, I try to do the best job I can. But anyway, you know, so in California, you're here, there, wherever. You got lots of errands to do. If you need bread, you go down to the store to get some bread. If you see a friend on the way, you know, and they want to go to Denny's and have a piece of pie or whatever, or come by the house, you go over there. If you decide there's a sale at a store, you decide to drop in. So you're just kind of everywhere. You know, when you leave the house, you don't know where you're going, what you're going to do exactly, because it's an adventure in California. So, and I've really never had to answer to anybody. I've always kind of done my own thing. But, I got to turn this AC on before I cook in here. It's like 77 degrees right now, oddly enough. So anyway, Silvio came creeping in my house one day, and it was like the afternoon, and he says, so where you be today? And I said, well, not much of anywhere really. I saw Diana and when I went to the store to get some bread, and he turned around and punched me in the face, and I cried. I mean, I was like, why did you do that? He said, you lied. I said, what do you mean I lied? And he's like, that's not all you did. I said, what are you talking about? And so then he walked me outside and he walked me over my car and he said, see the mileage on your car? You did this many miles. I'm like, what? Like you're like writing my mileage down? So then I had to sit down in tears thinking of all the places I went to explain to him where I had been. Okay? You know, that's just a little too much. I can't do all that. And I had friends that talked about guns in their faces, this, that, and the other. Those kind of boyfriends. And I'm like, you're stupid. I can't believe that you even do that. That's just, you should walk away from that immediately. You should know better. Why would you put yourself through that? Or guys that beat you all the time. Yeah, and I ended up with a touch of it. Just for a second. That was like the second time that Silvio had ever hit me. And I was really upset because I had a little baby to take care of, and it scared the hell out of me. I ran out of the house and ran across the street to the public school and hid over there. It was closed, but it scared me really bad. And so I knew I needed to leave. It just wasn't going to work. And he was married back then, but he lived with me. Oddly enough, that his country did not believe in divorce. And he lived with me like 4 or 5 years. So anyway, but I paid the rent and utilities anyway. Anyway, but he was gracious. He was very kind, very gracious. Anyway, as time goes on, you know, usually a guy will pick you because you look terrific, okay? You're a good presentation. You have a good personality. That you're smart. They can tell when they talk to you. You're educated. And that's what's neat, because most of my younger life, everybody recognized me for who my parents were. And after a while, I just had to like tell them they're dead. Because it was worthless. Worthless to tell people who my parents were. I wanted people to like me for me, okay? And if they didn't like me for me, well, oh well. You know? So, and I love everybody. I'm having friends. I've had thousands of them. Just love them. Collect them like little diamonds. I love friends. So as time goes on, I was with Franklin. That was the last guy that I was with, and he started wanting to change me. Now here's a guy that just chased me around like slobber on a stick. And I mean, I wore, you know, crop tops and bell bottoms, lace up jeans and heels, and my hair done all the time. My nails done all the time. Always looking great. Never ever looking anything indifferent. And he'd start telling me stuff like, well, you know, you don't have to curl your hair like that. And then a couple times he tried to get me to cut my hair. I think you really need to cut your hair about shoulder length. I think it would be better on me and you. So I talked to a friend of mine, Charlie Henson, and I said, you can't believe that Frank wants me to cut my hair off. And he says, do what? He said, he's scared because you be trolling with that beautiful hair. You're insane if you cut your hair for that man. And because, you know, I felt in my heart he was a cheater, and other people were trying to tell me but didn't, and sometimes did, and I caught him a few times, and things were just not good. And if you have to worry about where your man is at and what he's doing, that you can't trust him as far as you can throw him, get out of it. I'm telling you right now. I never did cut my hair off for him. And then you'll get a guy that says, well, I don't like all that makeup, you know. And now, I remember bartending at a place in the valley for a guy, and I always was all decked out, shorts and heels, because that made the money, you know. Your legs made the money behind the bar. And just decked, and my eyelashes on, everything. And then one day, I just felt like taking them off. I took my eyelashes off, And uh, decided I would just go natural with the rest of my face and everything. And I go to work and everybody's saying, "Are you okay? You don't look right. Are you okay? Have you been crying?" And I'm like, "No." Like, "But you look different. Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I took my eyelashes off." So then I learned, don't do that anymore. And if you don't wear your face, they think you're sick and dying. Are you okay? So the men that I've been with always appreciated pretty much the way I dressed. Classy, heels or heels and shorts, heels and dresses. I was never really a pants person. If you move to Florida, it's like sandals and casual clothes. 90% of the places you'll go, even the nice places, it's very casual. So if you're not a heels person, Florida's really good for you. I do love heels. I love my shoes. But when they start telling you to stop wearing your face, to cut your hair, they like you better with short hair. Don't dress like this, don't dress like that, then there's something seriously wrong with the picture. And I'm going to tell you a lot of what it is. With my experience in life, it seems to me that men are very insecure, especially guilty men. If they are guilty and running around or whatever on you, they will pick on you and they're going to try their hardest to keep you ugly. If they can get you to whack your pretty hair off or stop wearing your face or stop dressing the way you were when you met them, they should be loving you the way they saw you in the beginning and not be wanting to change you 100%. Because then why were they attracted to you? You see what I'm saying? So don't go changing to try to please a man, because it might not be worth it. He may be a guilty so-and-so that is cheating on you left and right. If he really loved you, he would love you as you are, no matter if you age or not. You know, as long as you're making an effort to look great and all that cool stuff, that's all that matters. They should be loving you like you were when you were first with them, and not trying to change you to make you ugly so no other man looks. Okay? Don't be fooled. Please don't be fooled, okay? Because it's a game, and don't fall for that game. If someone who really loves you for what you are, okay? Not to make you ugly. Anyway, I hope that helps you and hope that cheers your day up, makes you feel better and more positive about yourself, because it's just stuff that I learned along the way, and I really wanted to share that with you, because it's a horrible thing to sit there and think, wow, do I need to cut all my hair off? Wow, do I need to change all my clothes? Wow, do I need to stop wearing a face? You know, it's, no. You are you. And if they were attracted to you in the beginning, they loved you like you were in the beginning. Not to change you and make you something entirely different, like something out of Play-Doh. They need to go find that person, because it's not you. You can't create your own girl. You know? Now, I mean, if you feel like doing a makeover or something like that, then that's your own gig. But I mean, if you're a pretty girl to begin with, or a good-looking dude to begin with, don't be jacking yourself up just because somebody's telling you, oh, I think it would be better if you wore this, or I think it would be better if you, you know, cut your hair off, or stop wearing your face, or, you know, wear baggy jeans. You know, they should love you just the way you are, or get rid of them. True story. They should never be that jealous. They should know that you will be right back. It's sort of like, if you love them, let them go. If they come back, then you'll know. Okay? True story. You don't have to work that hard to keep a relationship. And I've spent a couple of my relationships in my life where I did 80% of the work, and it ended up being a total fail. I put up with it and put up with it and shut my mouth and, put up with it, and all I was doing was destroying myself inside and losing time and missing the world. That's right. So don't fall for that. Just be you, because you are special all by yourself, and there's no one just like you. Okay? You gotta love you and look out for you, because you are number one. Alright? Hope you have a great day. Love to you.